It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It's Friday. Woo-hoo. All right, Friday. It's going to be great weather.
Another cool morning.
Boy, it was gorgeous this morning.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, took little Pepper, my dog, out about 5:30 this morning, 5:38. And
it's almost jacket weather. Almost.
That close.
I didn't have to wear a jacket today, but I'm getting close. I might for the football game tonight. Who knows?
You bet. Yeah, a little bit of fog moved in. You know, I got up at 5:30 and took little dog out to let him do his little business outside. And then by the time I went back outside about 6:20, 6:25 to get in the vehicle, I thought, ooh, we got a little bit of fog coming in. So you look out the window and see the fog there to the west-northwest.
Yeah, we do have some coming in, don't we?
So just be careful out there this morning. Remember, school buses are out there on the highways, and so you need to stop and let the kids get on and off the bus safely today as they go to school and come home for the weekend. So, well, good morning and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis, our director engineer this morning. And it's going to be a nice weekend, nice weather, a little bit warmer throughout the weekend. I've got some yard work to do, and some I've already got accomplished. And so
I'm in the same boat.
Here we go. You know, get the lopping shears out and the trimming shears and the
yep.
weed eaters, and here we go. Anyway, we are enjoying Brood Awakening coffee this morning. Hope you're doing the same thing. Brood Awakening is the best coffee in town. As you heard Jacqueline say in the introduction, they have 3 locations in Mountain Home. They have Baxter Regional Medical Center's lobby. We have Balmer Boulevard, which is the road into the high school campus area. And, of course, out on Highway 62 East Plaza, what I call the 62 East Plaza, out by Anytime Fitness, which is the Walmart area out there. And so stop by and enjoy some Brood Awakening coffee. If you don't want to go there, stop by. I've still got almost a full pot of coffee this morning. Scooter's on a health kick drinking water. This is not cool enough for coffee yet.
Your coffee's a little potent for me. A little bit.
A little bit. Add some water.
Yeah, just had water.
Yeah, glug, glug, glug. Anyway, if you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Brood Awakening coffee, the best coffee in town. And, of course, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas, the utmost in professionalism and dignity and the attitude to give you what you desire for the service for your loved one when the need arises. Even in the event of an emergency situation, totally unprepared, they will step in and help you in that time of need. And so, with that, we're going to say our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today I pray for the family of Maddox Rich. He's the autistic boy from North Carolina that lost his life while hiking with family. Lord, the parents' grief must be simply unbearable. And I just simply have no words other than I'm sorry, and yet these words seem so shallow. My prayer today is to give Maddox's parents strength to cope with the pain of this tragedy. Give them peace and hope, knowing that Maddox is now with you forever. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes.
And now, dun, dun, dun,
there's that trumpet.
The weather.
Love the trumpet. Do it again. We got it one more
dun,
time.
Dun, dun.
What a trumpet. Wow.
The last note was a little
Bobby
flat.
Hackett and Al Hurt would be so proud.
Yeah. Okay.
Greg's Farm Services brings you the morning weather each and every day. I went over to the power shop yesterday. I had to get a bar and a chain for the MS-170 steel chainsaw that I have, and very impressed with that lobby. They have the equipment.
Oh, they do. It's full in there.
If you need some lawn equipment, professional or home use, you've got to stop. It's over at 1309 Bradley Drive in Mountain Home. That's just like Pizza Inn is here, Pizza Out here, and you turn and go back up there just over by First Assembly.
They got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I said, I need a bar and chain for an MS-170. Man went over, oh, sure, yeah, pull it off shelf there, you know. Very professional, very helpful. I tell you, couldn't say enough good things about the power shop on Bradley Drive. Greg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, in the community. We'll check their store specials and announcements. The Pet Mate Barn Home, save $5 to $10 on various sizes right now. Traeger Pellet Grill, you can save on grills from $50 to $100 on select grills. Buy one, get one half off any combination of Cowgirl Tough clothing and Montana West purses and jewelry items in stock. Need another hummingbird feeder? They have 10% off any in stock. We have Big and J BB2 attractant, various prices there. So you can go to gregsfarmservices.com and click the same thing I'm looking at here. And so 10% off Corinthian Bell wind chimes. There's the 5-gallon gas can, was $18.49, now $11.49. Check out the 70-quart muck tubs, $15.99. And we're going to be needing these soon, folks, so might as well head over to Greg's Farm Services and pick this up. Fiberglass red handle garden tools, your choice, $7.99 each. The FlexRite garden hose, 50-foot length, for $17.99. Greg's Farm Services, around the home, on the farm, and in the community. Their location is 6153 Highway 126 North in Gassville, 1309 Bradley Drive in Mountain Home. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. This morning we have 56 degrees in Mountain Home, 53 in Harrison, Hardy's at 52, while Mountain View checks in at 55. Yellville is actually, I don't know if this is right or not, it shows a little rain shower here that may not have updated. Showing 54 at Yellville, 55 at Marshall, 56 at Calico. Around the region, it's a little bit cooler in St. Louis and Poplar Bluff. It's 52 at St. Louis, 50 in Poplar Bluff, 52 at Branson. West Plains at 56. And here we go, folks. Here we go. Watford City, North Dakota. I hope my son and daughter-in-law is watching. 27 degrees. This is September 28th. It's 27 degrees in Watford City, North Dakota. And I'll show you this real quick before we hit the radar. This is North Dakota, South Dakota. This is Minnesota, mainly northeast and north central Iowa with Wisconsin, where they have freeze warning and freeze advisories already out in the northern part of the country already. September 28th, what are we, a weekend, not even a weekend to fall. And already we're seeing freeze advisories and freeze warnings. You can see the dense fog advisory from the middle part of Arkansas to northeast Arkansas, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, southern Ohio, into Kentucky, and half of Tennessee. And on the radar this morning, I'm not picking up anything in Arkansas. I don't know why it said it had a shower in Yellville. It must not have updated on that particular stop. But you can see the precipitation coming in from Montana, Wyoming, across South Dakota into Nebraska, and actually stretches into the west central part of Iowa right now. In Arkansas, we'll check the Arkansas radar real quick. Looks like the intensity is picking up some of that fog. That's the moisture coming off the fog. So all highways are clear at this time. 62 412 east and west, 65 north-south Branson, Little Rock. Batesville, Poplar Bluff along Highway 67, 167 out of Little Rock looks good. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, and 555 in Arkansas clear at this time. State of Missouri, we'll go to St. Louis first. I-70 coming in from Columbia to St. Louis looks good. That's more than likely that fog that we're talking about. I-44, Rolla, St. Louis. Coming east out of St. Louis, I-64 to Mount Vernon looks good. I-70 towards Vandalia, Effingham, no problems there. Moving over to southwest Missouri on I-44, Joplin, Springfield. I'm going to refresh that real quick because that looks like just refreshed a little bit. That's got to be a little bit of fog. I don't see any rain on the radar right now. Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon looks good. Kansas City, Columbia, I-70, no problems there. Forecast-wise, once again, we have that dense fog advisory for a while. You can see the map here. It's Marion County, Baxter County, Sharp, Fulton, Izard, all the way down to Faulkner County in Arkansas. So just be cautious with the fog out there. It'll probably lift around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Now until 9 a.m. on Friday, dense fog advisory. Today, patchy fog, then sunny. High of 78. Tonight, cloudy, 58. Partly cloudy, I should say. Saturday, high of 76 with sunshine. Sunday, high of 82. Sunshine. May wax the van today. Sunday night, mostly clear, low of 63. Monday, 20% chance of showers in the afternoon with a high of 84 degrees. Checking real quick.
Beautiful weather.
Huh?
That's some beautiful weather.
Missouri's updated drought monitor looks like it's in good shape. It's still there a little bit in the D4 and D3 around the Kansas City area.
They're looking a lot better, though.
They are. They really are. In Arkansas, this updated yesterday. Minor drought in Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas, in Benton County, a little bit in Carroll County, very little in Washington County. Then the southern counties here of Lafayette, Miller, and Union, I believe it is, yeah. Anyway, got to take a quick break here. Oh, community calendar, real quick.
About to say.
Trying to cut it. We've got a pre-recording we got to play here. Welcome Islandhurst Shoes is October 6th. starting at 10 a.m. with a $25 minimum donation. This benefits Serenity Home.
That's funny.
For more information, 424-7576. Lone Rock's Volunteer Fire Protection District. Their big barbecue is set for October 6, noon to 3, rain or shine. Special barbecue chicken leg quarter meal, $7 adults, children 12 and under 6. Huh?
It's well worth it.
Yep.
Also, Mountain Home Parks and Recreation has partnered with Arkansas Game and Fish to host their third annual Fish Derby. The Fish Derby will be held at Baker's Lake, located at McCabe Park on Highway 62 West. It will be September 29th, so tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is a free event for all ages 15 and under. If you have a fishing pole, please bring it. There will be a lot of fun events and prizes. If you need any more information, give them a call at 424-7275.
Brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741-2883.
There you go.
Coming up, Governor Asa Hutchinson's our guest today. Pre-recorded, of course. He was here Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Appreciate the governor and his time. He spoke later on at the Farm Bureau banquet, so we're going to take a quick break, and the governor will join us. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Nemus Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza. Do you ever feel like your butt's dragging and you could really use a lift? Ozark Diesel Off-Road. Ozark Diesel Off-Road has been installing lifts for over 25 years. They specialize in all your off-road vehicle needs, from general repairs such as engine diagnostics, clutch and brake repair, to custom fabrication like axle gears and lockers, leveling and suspension kits, and everything in between. So if your vehicle could really use a lift, head to Ozark Diesel Off-Road, located at 5051 Highway 62 East, or give them a call at 870-425. And we're back. It's my honor to introduce the governor of the great state of Arkansas, the Honorable Asa Hutchinson. Welcome, Governor. Good to see you.
Well, thank you, Dale. It's great to be back. Great to be in Mountain Home and with you.
And so we've got Bob Zadora, Brian Plumbing, and later on Dr. Jake Long, Mountain Home Public Schools Superintendent. And we just want to kick this thing off and talk about how good things are in Arkansas.
Well, they are good, and people like the direction that we're going in the state of Arkansas. People are working, there's job opportunities, we're slowing down the growth of government, which is important, and so there's a good sense about where we're going. There's good news in terms of just today we had news that Arkansas is sixth in the nation in the top 6 states in terms of personal income growth, and that's something that we measure because we want more money in individuals' pockets so they can spend their money with their downtown merchants, and that can happen through income growth. It can happen through tax cuts. And so we're excited about it. And I just love this area, of course. Mountain Home has got such a balance. We've expanded industry here.
Yep.
Baxter Labs
Yep.
is growing, not too far away with microplastics.
Microplastics in Marion County.
In
Yep.
Marion County. And great story there, by the way. But then also the balance with manufacturing, with tourism, that's so important up here.
Yes.
And it illustrates what we've got to do in the future. I believe that we need to grow the state of Arkansas. I want us to grow in terms of economic strength, but also we need people to fill jobs if we're going to recruit industry here as well. And so that's part of the strategy for the future. But people like where we are. I'm excited about it, and it's great to be in Mountain Home.
I want to bring Bob in on this conversation. Marion County has seen a B12 shot in jobs.
Oh yeah, I mean it's amazing over there.
The Tyson mill coming in with the railroad.
All of that over there. I mean, the state has cooperated all the way along, and that's so important for these industries that are trying to either get started or to expand. Is they have the cooperation of the state financially, sometimes just emotionally. That it's going to be okay, and we're going to help you to do these.
Of course, Marion County has great boat manufacturing
Yes, sir.
facilities
Yes, it
there
is.
that are
Yes, it
growing
is.
and expanding. But what I started to say about microplastics is that one of the first companies I recruited to Arkansas was Sig Sauer.
Yes, that's right.
Sig Sauer out of New Hampshire moved a premium ammunition manufacturing facility to Jacksonville, Arkansas, and created over 100 jobs. They've expanded and even done more than that.
Yep.
But what's really neat about it is that I was up in Melbourne, and Melbourne, not too far from here, where
Yeah.
Microplastics has a facility, and Microplastic was saying, "Governor, thanks for bringing Sig Sauer in because we got a contract with them."
That's it. Make the cases for the ammunition.
Yeah, and so
That's-
Sig
see,
Sauer
that's how it works.
benefits a community up here in northern Arkansas. Danville, Grandeur Fasteners added 25 jobs because they got a subcontract with Sig Sauer. And it just teaches me if, we can bring in what I call supply chain drivers. They drive the supply chain. They create the demand for manufacturing downstream, and that helps many small communities in Arkansas.
Definitely.
So how has tourism been? Have you got any reports on tourism for 2018 yet, or is it too early to see what that's going to be like?
I haven't had the latest statistics, but ever since I've been governor, the tourism revenue has increased year by year. And it's our state parks that drive people here.
Yes, sir.
It is our museums. It is our outdoor sports. Now it is our biking trails. And so the visitors continue to come here. Obviously, the Buffalo River being an important part of that equation. And it teaches us that we have got to make sure that we maintain that quality of life, that the pureness of our environment. We have to conserve it. We want to make sure it's there for the next generation. And with the trout fishing that is so big up here, I really look closely when I appoint those game and fish commissioners because
We appreciate that.
they make a difference for us right here in Mountain Home. And by the way, not too far from here is the Jacob Wolf House.
Yeah.
And of course, the Jacob Wolf House, Baxter County acquired that, and then the state took it off the hands of Baxter County. And I say that because it was a little bit of a drain, and you couldn't invest in
You
it
can't
as
wait because you
much.
can't make any money back on it as from
And
the county side.
But we're so excited to have that with one of the oldest structures. West of the
West of Mississippi, I believe.
Yeah, so that's that's the kind of thing that adds to the tourism mix here in northern Arkansas as well.
Does
Brian,
indeed.
have you got any comments on the tourism? What have you seen in Baxter County and Mountain Home right now?
I think it's going strong, as it is much all over the state, as it has in recent years. I think it's good.
You see it in the license plates, and you can feel it. You can feel it in the traffic where all of a sudden you're stuck waiting twice for the light to change.
Yeah.
Because traffic, nothing where you're at, but for the
Yeah.
people here, that's a big deal. And you can feel it when you go into the restaurants, when you go into Harps and do a little shopping or whatever. The tourism has been great. I do real estate, and we have people from all over the country looking to
What's
come
the
here.
farthest you've had this year? Have you seen like Vermont, New Hampshire? You've had New
We've
Mexico?
had people from New York. We've had people from California. I mean, you get people know Arkansas. They know the taxes, which you've done, which we appreciate. As far as the property taxes and the sales taxes, the difference between their states and here, when you tell them, somebody will call them looking for a house, and you'll say, well, they'll say, how much are the taxes? And you tell them $1,000 a year, $1,000, and they'll say, a month?
Yeah.
And they mean it.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
not
yeah.
joking. They mean it.
Well, and that's where, we don't have to completely eliminate our income tax. We can't do that without
No, you
raising
gotta run the
other
government.
taxes. And so, but if we can lower it a little bit with our lower property taxes, we can compete with other states
Yes,
that
sir.
have a lower income tax.
But what we made this comment on a long time ago. If you're trying to raise $1,000, you want 10 people giving 100 or 100 giving 10. So the more people you put to work, the more
Exactly.
people paying taxes. So you can kind of look. You got more people giving a little rather than a few people giving a lot.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why, even though we've lowered the income tax for Arkansans, 90% of Arkansans received a tax break. We still actually are producing more revenue every year from individual income taxes because more people are working. And that's exactly to your point. Dale, can I ask a question?
You betcha.
I want to ask a question as to whether here in Mountain Home, because you mentioned cars and traffic, do you believe that we as a state need to invest more into our road infrastructure here in Arkansas?
Let me make this suggestion because I do a lot of traveling between Fayetteville here and Jonesboro. There's a lot of talk about a 4-lane highway, but if you travel from West Plains, Missouri to Rolla, they re-striped a 2-lane highway and made it alternating passing lanes at 65 miles an hour. That saves a lot of money. Rather, because it's too costly. You know what it's like between here and Fayetteville. You've drove it many times. So why couldn't you have a 3-lane alternate passing situation rather than building an expensive 4-lane, even if there's no median?
Well, and that's a start, an interim measure until the traffic count gets up that you have to have a 4-lane. So absolutely, that's a very cost-effective means to approach it.
Because if you start some of these roads, you can't get into a 3rd lane or add enough of a shoulder to allow for passing on. And
Yeah, and just the expense of 2 westbound and 2 eastbound. The expense, I don't see because of the terrain, especially between here and Fayetteville or here the Oklahoma line. You go east, once you get to Portia, of course, it flattens out. You get around Portia and Prairie. When I go to St. Louis, and you've been on that Highway 63,
Oh, yeah. I was just there the
alternating
other day.
passing lanes,
Yeah.
and it works.
Well, I was just going to say, if we're talking in terms of the 412 project, a lot of the 4 lanes are done in the name of safety. There's far more or less accidents with those 4-lane highways.
Well, it's really exciting to see that 412 continue to develop
Sure.
across the northern portion of the state. If we can ever link Jonesboro and northwest Arkansas cross
Yes.
through here in Mountain Home and have a traffic flow there, it's going to really unite and strengthen our state. And I raised the question because obviously there's been a couple different studies that indicate we have to have a long-term highway plan that has more funding. Mississippi just passed a highway plan. They use sports revenue and I think sales tax on the internet to put toward their highway program. We're going to be looking at that in 2019 in the General Assembly, so it's going to be a hot topic we're going to be talking about. And my view is that, one, we do need to have more funding for our highways long term.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I believe that you need to be able to refer a highway plan to the people of Arkansas to be on the ballot.
Raise the speed limit.
So they can say yes or no. And I hear raise the speed limit over here.
Didn't Deanne Vault get that kind of through last year? We're still driving 55 over here. Bump it up 5 to 10 for us, would you?
Yeah, on these 2-lane roads.
Yeah,
just
that was-
bump
they
it
were
up.
complaining
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
roads, and you want to go faster on that.
Yeah, at least 60. At least 60.
Of course,
Siegel saved me money, Governor. I won't have to pay Arkansas State Police every time they pull me over for going 5 over.
yeah, 5 over. That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about Agri. You're very successful with, you went to Cuba, and Doug was telling some other things, some great things going on in northeast Arkansas with the agriculture program. What's going on with Agri right now?
Well, a lot is. I mean, first of all, we're some of the best producers in the world right here in Arkansas, from our rice to our soybeans, and the diversification. Now cotton is in the mix to a greater extent.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to build the further processing of our agricultural products. We're the perfect location to do it. I mean, we grow our rice, but let's just don't ship it overseas. If we can have further processing and package it here.
Send them a product instead of just the raw.
Exactly. And so we want to be able to develop that. We're trying to develop, actually in a technology arena, greater emphasis on food security and being able to trace food back to the source.
There you go.
And that's a new branch of, it's called blockchain technology, blockchain. And so we're really on the forefront of many of those initiatives. If you look at, you mentioned going to Cuba, we're trying to open up markets, and that's really the role of the governor. That we're great producers, and so we need to have the market in Cuba. We need to have the market in Mexico, particularly in Canada, and so that's why the North American trade is so important, that we get these tariffs knocked out. I saw the Vice President the other day, and I said it's time for President Trump to declare victory.
Yeah.
You know, he's won. He's made incredible progress here, but we would like to see an end to the trade skirmishes, because that hurts us in agriculture and is very worrisome. Our soybeans are the lowest price in 10 years, and I think it's because of the uncertainty. So the Vice President actually says, you know, I think I'm going to tell the President what you just said. So he has made some good strides, but we have great opportunity to export, and we've got to open up those markets, and I'm anxious for the day that we can say the tariff discussion is behind us and those markets are open to us.
Time for a quick break. Visiting with the governor of the state of Arkansas, the Honorable Asa Hutchinson. Back in just a minute.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
We are back. We're visiting with the governor of the state of Arkansas, the Honorable Asa Hutchinson, along with Bob Zadora. Dr. Jake Long is joining us now, Superintendent of Schools, Mountain Public Schools, and of course Brian Plumley, who is the Baxter County Republican Chair. And Governor, you've been very successful on this coding program that I know nothing about, but I'm taking the challenge. I'm going to learn. I'm 60 years old, and I'm going to learn it. I want to learn it.
Well, I'd be happy to present the Hour of Code certificate to you when you do your first hour. I have mine, by the way.
Do you?
But it's really, I like to see Arkansas get national recognition for success, and we are nationally recognized as leading in computer science education. I just saw someone from code.org that they're doing a new publication that's featuring Arkansas and what we're doing. Great. And they actually studied it, and it showed that the change in policy made such a difference in the number of students taking it. You make it available, they do take it. So I'm just very, very proud of our superintendents and our principals that embrace this, and our teachers that are getting retrained. But very successful effort, and it'll help us to bring technology companies in here. It'll help us to train people in cybersecurity that the jobs are out there for it. So love to hear from Jake on it. What's your experience?
Pull that microphone down just a little bit there, Dr. Long. There you go. You bet.
So it's definitely, the initiative has had a tremendous impact on Mountain Home Public Schools. In fact, you came up, I think it was last year or the year before, and did one of your coding tours and talked to our kids. But we've seen a level of engagement and enrollment in the coding that really all of we had to add a teacher this past year. And so we've added a teacher just for computer science. Before that, we had taken more of a hardware, software type tech person, and had trained them in I think it was actually your original class of the essentials. Mm-hmm. Is that the essential elements?
Essentials of computer science. I think.
Yeah. So now we're up over 200 kids, enrolled right now in computer coding, and really even pushing it deeper into the education. One of the things that had even come up is you're offering up some grants for this next school year for schools to apply for in areas of computer coding and computer science. And so we've been talking, and I've got a meeting on Thursday of how we're going to offer up a summer camp for computer science, K-12 summer camp for our kids. It's good for parents, it's good for the students, it's good for coding, it's good for the industry. And so we're really appreciative of that. We also received we received an award for computer science and coding for $7,000 for the highest growth per student. Yeah. And so it's definitely had an impact. When I talked to our high school principal, he says we can't offer enough computer science courses, and our kids are connecting with it.
So do you see the demand from the students and their interest continuing?
Absolutely, I do. And I think the demand will be as great as what we can provide in those courses. So we've even talked about how do we take some of the CTE courses and incorporate the coding into them while still teaching those basic elements of Excel and PowerPoint and that type of thing. So
now, Governor, you mentioned the RISE program. What is that? I'm not familiar.
Well, that's another program. Whenever you look at our schools, of course, the STEM education with the coding puts us on the forefront and is so critical to our students. But I also recognize the need of increased emphasis on reading. And my goal was to have students in the 3rd grade reading at grade level. Because if you're not reading at grade level in the 3rd grade, then all your learning is going to fall behind, because it all hinges upon that ability. And so we created the RISE initiative, which is Reading Initiative for Student Excellence. And it emphasizes the science of reading, which is phonics, teaching them to read the right way, and then building a culture of reading in the school community and in the community at large, so that they want to read and they see other people reading. And then a key part of it is, if someone falls behind in their reading skills, have an individualized plan for they can catch up. And so those are some basic elements of the RISE initiative, but I think you have it, Dr. Long, here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the State Department has been excellent in the rolling out of the RISE initiative. And Commissioner Key and a couple of, and Dr. Pfeffer and some of them, they came up last spring, and we showed them what we were doing in the areas of the science of reading. And all of our kindergarten teachers, the majority of our first grade teachers, and then about half of our second grade teachers have all been trained in the RISE initiative. And several of our 4 through 6th grade teachers have been trained with it too. But what I think the best output of the RISE initiative has been is a cohesive focus. And instead an alignment across the entire state for reading that I don't know that I've ever been a part of. And so that's what I really appreciate about the RISE, is the cohesiveness and everybody being on the same page, doing the same thing, and with the same standards and expectations.
So, now, Dr. Long, that would be an advantage to people that move around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you move from Texarkana to West Memphis, are they going to have the same opportunities?
Yes, they will. In conjunction with the RISE initiative, we've talked about our dyslexia. We've talked on your show, Dale, about the connections and how it really dives into those 5 elements of reading, and focuses a lot on even the phonemic awareness portions of it. So all that has come from the RISE initiative as well.
That's excellent.
And we want our students to read and enjoy. I've had the privilege, as you know, of traveling to many different foreign countries, both as Homeland Security and DEA, and now as governor. But you know where I first visited those countries was in a book. Whenever I was going to grade school and exploring the world through a book. And while we have video games, that the importance of reading and learning through reading is so critical. So I'm inspired by it. It's a lifelong habit of mine, and I want the students to have that same emphasis. And I'm just thrilled, Dr. Long, of what you all are doing here in Mountain Home. You're certainly setting a good pattern for our state.
We appreciate that, and we're fortunate to live in an area where the education is a priority, and it's not just Mountain Home Public Schools. We have great schools in our entire region up here, and fortunate to be a part of it.
Do we need to take a break right there, Scooter? Okay. More with the governor and everybody else right after this. Stick around.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant, located on the square in Mountain Home.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
And we're back, finishing up the program with the Governor of the State of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson. It's so good to have you here. Bob Zador, Brian Plumley, Dr. Jake Long. And what do we need to cover that you need the listeners, the viewers to hear from the governor right now in northern Arkansas?
Well, of course, we have an election coming up in November, and then if that goes well, then we have the next session of the legislature meets in January of 2019. We meet every 2 years, so it's a big session. And so I've been promoting some of things that we have to do as a state. I mentioned, a highway plan that hopefully will be referred to the voters. But another big item will be what I call the transformation of state government. Right now we have 42 different departments of state government that report directly to me. Any administrator would be challenged by having that many direct reports. Mm-hmm. And so we're not going to be eliminating any departments necessarily, but we're going to make it more efficient so we deliver services better. It'll be a better reporting function to me. So I want to reduce those 42 departments of government down to fewer than 20. You think about that, as large as the federal government is, they only have 13 cabinet officials. And so we want to streamline that. And a good example of what we're doing in transformation is that if you want to get your car tags renewed, historically you go down to the revenue office, you pull a number, and you sit there for an hour waiting for your number to be called. Well, now you can go online, you can pay your sales tax, and you get your car tags renewed online. That's an example of more efficient, something better for the public. But one businessman actually out of Missouri that was in the car rental business, because they have a lot of cars, they said that change alone saves them $250,000 a year. $250,000 a year, because they were having to actually physically come down and send somebody down to the revenue office, for a large number of titles that they would have to tag. And so that's part of what we want to do. It is important that we have another round of tax cuts. Now we have to be careful because we got education to fund. We're going to be increasing teacher pay, raising the minimum for teacher pay, which I suspect that you're already above, Dr. Long, here, that minimum teacher pay here at Mountain Home.
$36,499.
So this impacts, it'll start the minimum higher, which might impact you in terms of teacher pay, but we want to stay ahead of the curve, reward our teachers that are doing a good job, and recognize how important they are to education. So we're going to continue to invest in education. We've got some additional money that we've got to put in our parole system, but we also want to be able, with our growth, to be able to lower that income tax rate again in Arkansas and flatten it. And so we're looking carefully as to how much we can do this first round, but that will be a continued goal that we do to lower that income tax rate, put more money in citizens' pockets that they can spend with their downtown merchants. So those are just a couple of things that are going to be important from my standpoint as you look into the session next year.
Well, Governor, we got three gentlemen right here that talk about the success in their different venues here. How can anybody look at what's going on in the state of Arkansas and vote another direction? See what I'm saying?
Well, I agree with you.
I was going to say, it's not going to get an argument.
Not going to get an argument. But that's what I was telling Doug before you arrived here. The success of this administration is overwhelming.
It is, and I'm not braggadocious about it, but we're going well in terms of the economy. But we also, what's important is that we address problems. Whenever I became governor, we did not have a good foster care. We had a crisis in our foster care system. And we did not have enough foster care families. We did not have enough caseworkers. And these are our children of our state. And so we addressed that problem. We had to put $24 million into hiring more caseworkers and improving their training. We worked with our faith-based organizations to recruit more foster parents. And all of a sudden, you see that system working better. We're going to be doing some things with juvenile delinquency, our juvenile court system, and how we handle our juveniles that run into problems. Right now we have 6 or 7 institutions across Arkansas that they're sent to. And we're trying to look at that very carefully so that our juvenile judges can have the right information to say, this is a young person that made a mistake, that maybe they can get more counseling here closer to home, get back on the right track and be productive, because the odds are against them if they're sent down to Wrightsville or somewhere for
once
really
that door
incarcerated.
slams behind them.
Exactly. And so that's something that's going to be a part of what we want to do. So we're trying to solve problems, but we like the direction we're going, and I want people to feel great about our state. We want veterans to return here. We give them an exemption from their military pay from their state income tax. That's a recruitment tool. So all of these things with success in education, we want to build our infrastructure. I want to enhance our broadband in our rural communities. All of this, some of that has to be done by the private sector, but we're going to tackle things one step at a time and keep this growth agenda that I think brings us success.
How can we bring the Republican Party of Arkansas back to one? I don't want to get into particulars, but we need to get behind our governor, our lieutenant governor, our attorney general down the line. Support these people. You're doing a great job. 4 years ago we weren't agreeing on everything, but we worked it out, and here we are sitting side by side, and we're having a fun time with this.
Well,
and look at the success.
And you got to recognize who's on the other side and the direction that they want to go. We put in a Medicaid work requirement for able-bodied Medicaid recipients. The other side opposes that. The other side opposes the tax cuts that makes us more competitive. And so we got to keep our eye on the ball, and we're going to have disagreements, but in the end, you fight for your convictions, and you also work as a team, because if you don't work as a team, as a state, we're not going to get anything done. And whenever you see this fight in Washington, it just discourages people. It saps the energy and the fun out of life almost, because it's in your face every day on television. So I believe that we need to help support a more civil society and vigorous political debate. But in the end, let's come together to do some good things for the people that we serve.
Amen to that.
And the realization that you're the governor of all the people, and I think that we forget that sometimes. So what does he do that for? Because it's for everyone. It's for the whole state. You can't appease everyone all the time.
It is a very diverse state, a lot of different viewpoints, and I do a lot of listening. I listen to the other side. I don't always agree, many times, and sometimes you don't make any adjustments. But when you can work together, it's better, it's preferred, and we've become the second most pro-life state in the nation. That's not compromising any values, that's sticking with them.
There you go.
And that's a big difference too as well, and very proud of that record.
And so, we got to get behind our elected officials here and support. And when we disagree, let's do it honorably. Let's do it honorably.
And all of our elected officials, from the JPs all the way through the governorship to the Senate, obviously the House race. We're not in the second district here, but I mean, obviously we got a good House race going there. And to stick behind your local candidates, turn out and vote.
Oh, yeah, please, everybody. Actually, you've got still, I think, 10 days maybe to get registered to vote. To register to vote.
Yeah. What's the cutoff, October 1?
I think I saw October 9.
I think it's 30 days before the general.
Yeah. And so get registered, but then we have to get the vote out. I want everybody to vote regardless of what they view politically. It's just important for our citizenry to vote. And, this is not a presidential year. And so in a non-presidential year, the vote decline in Arkansas is over 200,000 fewer voters in a non-presidential year versus a presidential year. And so there's a lower turnout anyway, and so we have to energize. Just like a presidential campaign energizes the voters, we have to do that a little bit more difficult whenever the governor's leading the ticket. But we hope to make it'll be an exciting time, and everybody will get out there and vote.
Because a lot of people think that the elections were over at the primary, because a lot of people don't have
Races,
opponents.
yeah.
Well,
there isn't really a race.
This is when surprises happen. You know, if you'll remember that race in Ohio, Democrats had 90% turnout. I think we had, don't quote me on it, but I think a little less than 40%. So this is when surprises happen, but I'm hoping that there's enough energy around what's going on with the state, what's going on at the national level, that we turn out in droves.
Just with what Dr. Long has spoke of in the school right here is enough to secure my vote for Asa Hutchinson, because I see it continuing for 4 more years.
There's also some really interesting ballot initiatives this year that ought to bring people to the vote.
Yeah, yes. That's right.
And I haven't taken a position on all of them yet, but and some of them are still before the Supreme Court for decision making. Right? Yeah, so everybody's got to pay attention, and there's going to be a lot of ads there. One of them is going to be on a tort reform measure. That's issue 1. One of them is going to be potentially a casino gambling amendment in Arkansas that they have an opportunity to vote on.
Now, did the Highway Commission come out and say, no, it doesn't help the road? Is that what the commission has said?
That's correct, because the casino amendment puts some tax money into general revenues, but it's not allocated to highways. Now, but I've come out in opposition to that for the simple reason that we have a couple gambling venues in Arkansas, which is Oak Lawn, and we have West Memphis. Right. I'm not for the expansion of casino gambling in the state, but that's a decision the voters will make, and that's fine.
Is that the Greyhound Park? Is that still down there?
Yeah, that's still down there.
Oh my goodness, really?
Well, and they're doing very, very well.
Really?
They are.
Because in fact they lost a lot early on to Tunica over in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But then Tunica got flooded out, and while they were flooded out, they all came to the Greyhound racetrack. And then you also added games of skill there, electronic games of skill, so they got a lot of different opportunities there. So it's a big economic boon for that area, and it draws people from Mississippi and Tennessee in there. So that's great. And Hot Springs, Oak Lawn is a real draw for tourism, entertainment. They have great purses, and so these are things that are very personal in people as to whether they want to support further gambling in Arkansas or not. I just state my opinion, but the voters will ultimately decide.
That's why you got to show up. You have an opinion on this, you need to show up and vote.
We've got about 4.5 minutes here before we end the program. I want to talk school safety, and I know it's very important to Dr. Long. And you gentlemen, how do you handle, what happened in Florida, what happens in Texas? I can't explain, and I tell the governor when the sheriff is here and we talk about the crime, I drive through these neighborhoods and never once do I think, well, what kind of TV do they have? What if they got jewelry? What if they got diamonds? I don't think to break into home. And why would they want to hurt somebody in a church or school?
That's a whole other deal.
Let me jump in on the school safety side, because after what we saw in Parkland, I think we recognize that it's not enough just to have school resource officers. You have to have a more comprehensive plan and layers of security. I brought together some really top-notch experts, counselors as well, law enforcement, to look at school safety and make some recommendations. They made a preliminary report. I think it was about 9 recommendations in there. They're continuing to work on it. But I know, Dr. Long, you've done your own evaluation. Where are you all on it? Have you all looked at that preliminary report that's come out?
Yeah, we did, and I felt like we, after the Parkland shooting, even before the Parkland shooting, I felt we were a little bit ahead of some schools in the areas of school safety. But the Parkland shooting, it was a game changer for all schools when it comes to school security. And so we do have an armed SRO. We're lucky to have good partnerships with our local sheriff's department and city police and city council that all support that. But also we've really invested a lot into our school-based mental health, and we've hired our own therapist. We've built stronger partnerships with different agencies that are there to serve our kids, and so we're really trying to adhere to that one therapist per 500 students to help support our kids. But any kind of, I see definitely that being the key for prevention in school security in the future.
Let me just brag on you for a second there, because we require one school counselor for so many students, like you said. But then we passed a law in 92 that said that school counselor is supposed to spend, I think it's 75% of their time on direct counseling with students.
Yeah.
But the problem is we've moved away from that, and those counselors are all of a sudden doing tests, they're working on curriculum, they're doing administrative duty rather than direct counseling with the students. And so I applaud you for that mental health emphasis and really getting back to that, because that's so needed with our children that have bad circumstances or something adverse happen in their life. Bullying, it will help minimize that in the schools, so that's really, really good.
I agree. The therapy is definitely needed, and any opportunity we can provide a trusted role model in front of our kids just to talk, I think is a good thing.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Got about a minute and a half left. Governor, which camera can the governor talk directly into? The last camera right here? This camera right here. Talk to this camera right here and just address the folks here in North Central Arkansas.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be back in Mountain Home. I love this area. This area actually was in my the 3rd Congressional District when I was in the United States Congress. So I represented Baxter County, and I loved it, and I love the connection here, and I always like coming back here. And of course, I grew up in the hills of Arkansas, so there's nothing more precious to me than to see the lakes and the hills. And agriculture is important, and we talk a lot about STEM education, but you know, it's the cattle farm, it's the poultry farms, it's that independent living out there that really makes Arkansas special, and people want to come here. And so I'm committed to make sure that we grow in manufacturing jobs so our young people have those opportunities. We want to be able to keep tourism strong because that's an economic driver for us, but we want to maintain our quality of life. And I'm committed to that, protecting this incredible environment that we have of our outdoor life, and that's why this area is so important to me. I've enjoyed the high privilege of being governor. I've served 2 presidents, but being governor is the highest privilege I've had in my public life. And I'm grateful for it. I look forward to the opportunity to hopefully serve again and be up here many times to see all the good things that are happening in the Mountain Home area.
So let's keep the good things going in the state of Arkansas. We need to re-elect Governor Asa Hutchinson for another 4 years. Bob and Brian and Dr. Long for being here. Governor, thank you once again for being here. That wraps it up. Back on Monday. Thanks, everybody. And we got just a few minutes to fill in after the pre-recorded interview with Governor Asa Hutchinson. I want to thank the governor publicly again for taking the time. It's not an easy drive from Little Rock, and what people don't realize, that was recorded between 5 and 5:45 on Tuesday. He had breakfast in Charleston, South Carolina, with the governor's meeting with 17 other governors, flew back to Little Rock. The Chevy Suburban was waiting for him with security detail, brought him straight to Mountain Home to record that show, then to go to the Farm Bureau dinner, stayed the night, I believe, somewhere here in Baxter or Marion County, and then went back to Little Rock the next morning. So thank you, Governor, for doing that.
Busy.
I want to emphasize the power of local low-power television. Thanks to the Reynolds family, Reynolds Media, thank you for allowing Down on the Corner to come over here. A lot of folks don't get to see the governor in this fashion. I'm proud that he had open collar, no necktie, relaxed. We had a good time. Bob was here, Brian Plumley, Dr. Long from the schools. It was a good, relaxed atmosphere, but this shows the power of local low-power TV. And so now's the time with programs like this. I can't guarantee we're going to have the governor on again for maybe another year because it's hard to get him up here.
His schedule's
But the fact
nuts.
remains we have those connections. October starts on Monday. Christmas is 3 months away. Plan your advertising now. We'll continue to bring you the top quality programs as humanly possible to come into hometown television, XL7 TV and K26 over in Harrison. And so, right?
You bet.
The power of local TV.
We're
right
here to help
Thank you, Gil.
the small.
Thank you, Dan Reynolds. Thank you.
We're here to help the small town businesses
And it's not
helping
expensive.
get them out there, and we're very economical for what we do.
So give Matt Schimmel a call and say, hey, I appreciate the programming, and people will see it. We're on from Branson to Harrison to Mountain Home to Mountain View, Arkansas, Salem to West Plains, And so there's no other low-power TV station around here that can bring Governor Asa Hutchinson in on Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for a great job of doing that. That was a good recording. It just went
Looked
well.
good.
It was a good afternoon.
It was
just
a fun
lot of
time ball. It's good to see him again.
And so with that, have a happy weekend, everybody. See you on Monday.